All right, I want to start this video off by saying I bring up Casey Neistat in a few of my videos. I really respect Casey Neistat. Now, the video that he made about who he's going to vote for doesn't change why or how I respect Casey Neistat. I never respected Casey Neistat for his political opinions because I never knew Casey Neistat's political opinions. So it was not important to me. It's still not important to me in the sense of the guy's amazing. He puts together amazing videos. He tells stories. He is incredibly interesting. And I will continue to watch his videos and try to learn from how he makes his videos interesting and see if I can incorporate that in. With that said, really, Casey, I've rewatched it a lot. I've taken my time to watch other people's responses. Some people just straight up attack him. I don't feel like that's appropriate. If you think somebody said something or done something, it's better to have a conversation, right? Anyway, I'm going to watch the video again and kind of give you guys my thoughts on it as we go and break down really what Casey did in this video and why he went over the line and why he's showing a large amount of prejudice and bias. So he opens up the video with
Hillary Clinton. I will be voting for Hillary Clinton. I avoid talking politics on this channel, on this forum, because politics are divisive. There's always two sides.
And he's correct. Talking politics, especially in this election cycle, is extremely divisive. Okay, and I'll put divisive right here so you guys can see. That's what divisive means.
I can have my opinion and there will always be an opposing one.
I don't know really how to take that. I can have my opinion and there's always an opposing one. Sure. Okay, there's always an opposing opinion. Sure.
This is not that. This is about a megalomaniac who's driven by nothing but ego. A man who cares exactly zero about the people of this country. A person who brags about sexually assaulting women and shames others for the way they look. I'm speaking up now because this election has very little to do with politics, policy, or legislation.
I get it. You don't like Donald Trump. Good news is a lot of us don't. With that said, you're framing the presidential election as a popularity contest? It's not about policy. It's not about... They haven't made it about policy. Casey. People who act and respond the way you are currently in this video are the reason they've been able to do this. Policy is the only thing that should matter. You don't vote for the president you want to go have a beer with. You vote for the president that aligns with what you want for the country moving forward.
This has to do with morals and principles. I'm voting for Hillary because, make no mistake, there is only one person that can defeat him. One person that can keep him away from power, and it is her.
Morals and principles? Okay, I'll go with you. Which morals and principles does Hillary Clinton exemplify for you, Casey? Now, again, I get that you don't like Donald Trump. We're on board. We don't like him. But we also don't like Hillary. Now, if you're going to make it who do we like less, that seems awful. Except you go on to say she's the only one who can beat him. Bernie Sanders would have crushed him. And the fact is, until we vote for a third-party candidate, we're going to keep getting two candidates shoved down our throats.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right? The racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, you name it.
So one of the principles that Hillary exemplifies is that you can say, I'm about to say something offensive, and then say that offensive thing. That doesn't get you off the hook. You can't just say half of people who support Donald Trump are some sort of a phobic. So if you support Donald Trump, you're either a racist, sexist, rapist. Now, for those of you watching the video thinking, right, but Donald Trump said all Mexicans are rapists. Okay, no he didn't. Just like Hillary Clinton didn't say all Donald Trump supporters are racists. She said half. Okay, Donald Trump said,
when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Now, Trump didn't put a number on it, so it's feasible that maybe he meant all of them when he said there. But he also said Mexico sent them. I don't think Mexico sends people up here. I think people come up here to find a better life. Now, are some of the people who come up here, who are coming up here illegally, maybe not the best people and that's why they're not coming legally? Possibly. Is it something that you need to speculate on? I don't think so. I think that Trump could have taken a different line and said, look, people want to come to the United States, we welcome them, come legally. The fact is, the Clintons have supported legal immigration forever. And even when Bill Clinton was running for office, he also did not support illegal immigration.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
But I digress. Back to Casey's video.
I'm not a huge fan of her stale politics. I'm entirely aware of all of the criticism against her. I'm aware of all of her failures and shortcomings. But she's intelligent, and she knows what she's doing. More importantly, she's mentally sound, she's responsible, and she's sane.
Here's another spot where I agree and disagree with Casey. I agree with you that she's intelligent. Based on the fact that she's achieved pretty high status, she's been able to navigate what is, our democracy. She's got to be pretty intelligent. That's also the problem for me. It means she knows she's lying. It means she knows what she was doing when she got a server outside of the way that she was supposed to. She started in 2008. They were hacked in 2009. She's intelligent enough to know that that means she potentially was hacked. It means that she knows. She's intelligent. Hillary is smart enough to know that she passed classified materials, classified emails through her email server and lied about it. The FBI came out and said she did not tell the truth. I feel as though, again, you can't give me the positive for her that's Donald Trump's negative when it's really negative for both of them at this point.
I want to end this by calling out all the big YouTubers. Some I know and some you viewers might know. See, making videos like this, they're not popular, they're not going to get you subscribers, they're not going to boost your view counts. But there is something much more valuable than subscribers or dollars, and that's backbone. That is not being scared to stand up for what is right, regardless of the costs. The top 20 YouTubers reach over 1 billion views every single week, every 7 days. We have the power to activate a demographic, an electorate that isn't typically very active. That is young people. You see, this generation, if we're all banded together, we have the power to ensure that this tax-avoiding, lying, racist, misogynist stays away from power and out of the White House. But it requires all of us coming together. So if your favorite YouTuber says things like, I don't like to talk politics on my channel, or I'm not going to reveal who I'm voting for, call them out.
Now, when Casey says we have the ability to stand up for what is right, regardless of what the cost is, make no confusion. Hillary Clinton is what is right in Casey's mind. I don't have a huge issue with this. Okay? He likes Hillary Clinton. He dislikes Donald Trump. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Good for you, Casey. That's your point. You want to utilize your channel to express that? Go for it, man. I don't agree with you. I think they're both awful. But you can do that. So this is where it begins to be, to me, propaganda. When he says, listen, we don't need this misogynistic, blah, blah. Call out your favorite YouTuber. Ask them why they're not talking about this. Okay, propaganda, information, especially of a bias or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Okay? He is galvanizing us against each other. If they're not for Hillary Clinton, they're for the end of the world. Go out there and tell your favorite YouTubers to talk about what they're going to do. This is crazy. It's not us against you. It's not one side against the other. We're Americans. We're trying to make it a better country. And a lot of us just don't think either of these two are going to do that for this country. But this is where I really think Casey steps over the line. Okay, a large percentage of the watchers on YouTube are under the age of 18. They don't have the ability to vote. These people, individuals who don't have the ability to vote, they're going to go out there and they're going to try to get people who are voting to vote the way they would vote. Listen, you're not 18, you can't vote. I'm sorry, it's not a big deal. I got my vote. It's mine. I will utilize it, leverage it how I choose. My vote is not for sale. I'm going to vote for who aligns with what I want for the country over the next 4 years. For those of you who can't vote, understand that there will come a time that you can. Get your information, decide what's important to you, figure out which candidates, whether it be, a city mayor, whether it be, the president. Look and see which one aligns with what you want. They're not going to align with you perfectly. You're not going to look at a candidate and go, wow, this candidate gives me everything that I want. But you could potentially find one that gets a few of the things you want. I will put together the list of what I want, and the candidate that I feel aligns with that best is going to be the candidate that gets my vote. It's only 3 things that I'm hoping for our country and this government in the next 10 years. So over the next 10 years, unless all of a sudden these things happen, I'm going to continually vote for people that align with these 3 things until we can get it. Regardless, Casey, if you're listening, which I hope that you see videos like this, stop stirring the pot and the fervor of people who can't vote. Okay? Stop spreading propaganda to go tell people how to vote. It's not my responsibility to tell you how to vote, just like it's not your responsibility to tell me how to vote. If you have new information, if you have a way that you want to position the story, tell me a story. Tell me a story about why Donald Trump would be the worst. Tell me a story about why Hillary Clinton would be good. I would like to know. If you guys see this video and you want to comment, put down in the comments, why do you like your person? Don't tell me why you don't like the other person. I'm not going to vote for someone because I don't like the other one. I am going to vote for the one that aligns with what I want for the country. At the end of the day, I'm not voting in the lesser of 2 evils. I don't have any interest in that. I'm going to vote in someone that's going to possibly achieve my 3 goals. Back to the video.
This election is different. And if this guy gets elected, and you stood back with your arms folded and didn't speak out against him, it makes you complicit. It makes you partially responsible for handing him the reins of power.
This was my least favorite part. Absolute least favorite part. Casey, do you know what the word complicit means? Complicit. Involved with others in an illegal activity or wrongdoing. So voting for Donald Trump in Casey's mind is illegal or performing wrong. Okay, well, then I guess for the other side, voting for Hillary is being complicit in her acts of lying to everybody about a lot.
We went through a thorough process to identify all of my work-related emails and deliver them to the State Department.
The FBI also discovered several thousand work-related emails that were not among the group of 30,000 emails returned by Secretary Clinton to State in 2014.
I chose not to keep my private, personal emails.
It's also likely that there are other work-related emails that they did not produce to State and that we did not find elsewhere and that are now gone.
Emails about planning Chelsea's wedding or my mother's funeral arrangements.
With respect to the thousands of emails we found that were not among those produced to the State Department, agencies have concluded that 3 of those were classified at the time they were sent or received.
Yoga routines, family vacations, the other things you typically find.
1 at the secret level and 2 at the confidential level.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified material.
110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
So I'm certainly well aware of the classification requirements and did not send classified material.
That any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those with whom she was corresponding about those matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
The laws and regulations in effect when I was Secretary of State allowed me to use my email for work. That is undisputed.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system.
She violated the Federal Records Act by not turning over all official emails before she left office. The report also found that there was no evidence she had requested or received approval to use her personal account for
a lot of things she's lying about. Covering up for her husband's illicit activities when it comes to sexual relations, which apparently he doesn't understand how they work. The point is, we can get into semantics at this point, but to say that someone voting for one of the 2 options is an illegal activity, I mean, that's pretty offensive. Doesn't mean that someone else liking him is illegal.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow for a fun, happy video. Thank you for your understanding, and thanks for the time.
So this part, wow, made me laugh. So I'm going to end this, and tomorrow we'll have an easier, fun video. Casey, you do those videos great, man. Really, you really do. I really didn't have a huge issue with this video, except when you kept pushing the envelope harder and harder. Your bias, your prejudice, the overall just kind of bully nature that comes out in this video, it really hurt me, man, because I like you so much, and I still do. I'm still going to watch your videos. I'm going to look at this as just, you went overboard on something. We all get passionate sometimes. The difference is you can make a video that 1 million+ people are going to see, so there's got to be some level of accountability, right? I'm sure you don't think you did anything wrong, but you pushed the envelope too far in too many areas. This video was not sponsored by Hillary Clinton or any other political entity. I get it. You know, you get sent products, not supported by the product. They just sent it to you to try out. But you need to vote for her and make sure everyone else you know votes for her, or the consequences of electing the unstable, irrational alternatives will be far-reaching and severe. Just cut out, make sure everyone else you know votes for her. Just cut that out. We are already telling people that we know how we're voting, but don't tell people to do it. Because here's the thing. Somebody who comes up to me and says, you need to vote this way, you know what I say? Tell me why. Give me information that I'm not already getting. The fact is, it's the internet age, okay? I can get anything I want. I can find out anything I want to find out. I'm going to find out a lot of stuff that may not be true. There's going to be a lot of speculation and different things. You know, Donald Trump did this, Hillary Clinton did this. Maybe those things aren't true, but I can get everything. I don't need you or anybody else to tell me how to vote. If you want to share information, I'm open to it. I'd love to hear your information. But you did not share any information in this that's new except for how you're going to vote. All right, so guys, I said I was going to list the 3 things that I want to see changed, and people who are going to get my vote are going to do these 3 things. The very first thing is campaign finance reform. The President of the United States earns $400,000 per year. It's a lot of money, okay? But it's a pretty important job. President of the United States, it's a higher up job than even a CEO, and there's CEOs who make way more than $400,000 a year. So help me understand this. $400,000 a year, 4 years, 1.6 million. That's good, right? You could do okay off 1.6 million. Basically guaranteed income as long as you don't do anything too horrible that you get impeached. Why is it that Hillary Clinton was able to get $516 million in campaign donations? How does that even make sense? $516 million. Campaign finance reform, number 1. We are in a digital age. She could make YouTube videos. She could just talk to the media. They'll put her up everywhere. Okay? There's just so many ways to get your message out there that you do not need $516 million to make slander videos. This is insane. Now, we'll talk about Donald Trump as well. He brought in $160 million. Way too much money. That's way too much money to be spent on this. This is insane. Tell me this. Do you believe that a company out there is going to spend 5, 8, 10, 12, whatever they donate, even $1 million? Are they going to donate $1 million without expecting something? Let's spend some of that money fixing up some schools. Are you telling me, and I get that campaigns are now 2 years, which doesn't make any sense to me either, because Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have jobs. What are they doing not doing their job for 2 years while running for president? One of them's going to lose, and they're 2 years of not doing their job, and they didn't even get... I digress. On to number 2. Why do we still have an electoral college? I've asked this question to several people. I've gotten different answers. The craziest answer I got was, the reason you have an electoral college is so that somebody votes for the state, and that person who votes for the state, if for whatever reason the votes within that state is for a candidate that's not fit for office, the person who's voting can vote for who? Really? So what you're saying is that if the majority of people want someone in office, but the person who holds the electoral ballot decides that, well, that person's unfit for office, they can vote differently? I really don't feel at this point in America our presidential vote is worth a whole lot. I really don't. And the reason I say that is a state like California, depending on how many people show up to vote, the vote value goes up and down based on what their electoral vote is versus how many people show up. And that's state by state by state. I live here in Oregon. The fact is, before Oregon's vote is official, we will know who the president is. Doesn't make me feel valued as a voter when they say, and the president of the United States is, and by the way, Oregon voted. I want to see that come off the table. It should be a popular vote, but all I'm saying is it should be a vote based on percentages, because the way it's set up right now, a third-party candidate has almost zero chance of winning unless they can win a number of the big states. And because of that, people aren't voting for them. The third thing that I want to see, and this one may be one of the most important, is finance reform and accountability. Okay? If you Google right now, lost government funds, you'll find there was $167 billion lost from one area of the government. Somebody else lost. The Pentagon lost money. What do I mean by lost? They can't find the money. We are trillions of dollars in debt to other countries, and we're losing money. Like I set it down and I don't know where it is. You can't, how do you, it's $1 billion. If you've ever had a job at a fast food restaurant, at Big Five Sporting Goods, Best Buy, Walmart, lose $10 while you're on shift. Have $10 go from your till. On the second time, you'll probably be fired. So why is it that within our government, there's some individuals, whoever they are, that are losing money? The books, how is this not a bigger deal? How is this not a bigger deal? We overspend because they have contracts that you have to do business with these guys, so you're just going to keep paying these people to do a particular job because it's contracted. Doesn't make sense. But to Casey and to other individuals out there who want to push their agenda on us, we're already getting enough of that. Okay, we already have the media telling us who we should vote for and all these other. You don't need to do it. You are not going to tell me who to vote for. It's my vote. I'm accountable. I'm responsible to who I vote for. Have a great day, guys, and best of luck to all of us.